Disney is on the path of destruction now.
Again.
Like, they are. I mean, I don't know what the future holds for Elio being an unknown property. I don't know what Fantastic Four holds, being that the first 3 or technically 4 because there was an old Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been a struggle. They've always been big productions, huge budgets, and haven't lived up to the
They have
hype.
Pedro now, though.
which speaks to me as a millennial.
Who?
Oh no. Our generation knows Pedro. We vote for Pedro.
This is the Off the Break Podcast, your podcast dedicated to current movie theater news, operations, and insights from the people that book the movies.
All right, we're back with the post-Memorial Day 2025 edition of Off the Break Podcast. Record-breaking Memorial Day weekend.
Hey!
Yes. I can't believe that it actually happened, that it was as massive as it became.
I was nervous with you guys beforehand in the office, like, oh, it's Memorial Day, look out, it's not going to do so good.
I think I figured out why, like, the old heads in our industry, like, hold Memorial Day with such regard, such esteem, and the newer people to our industry, I mean, this is my 7th year in film buying. This is
Congrats.
Cody's more than 7th year in film buying. Not going to age her when she's not on the podcast. If she was here, I would absolutely say the number. Yeah. But since she's not here, I won't. But Memorial Day is typically like not a great going weekend. Last 20 years, there's nothing. I mean, there's a few blips on the radar, but there's nothing huge.
I was going to say, I have the list of blips.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, you keep going.
But there's a few that stand out. But Memorial Day was the initial release of Star Wars: A New Hope. And that was why these old heads in our industry hold it with such high regard, because Star Warses were Memorial Day films. They were 3-day weekend films. This was the big thing, so that it created for a period of 20 years where people wanted that coveted Memorial Day spot.
So that must have meant that it opened to like 200 million on that weekend, right?
You mean
Of course.
Star Wars: A New Hope.
Well, back when tickets were a nickel. No,
Does adding inflation help?
it would absolutely help. This is why like Jaws is still like the highest grossing with inflation. It's like, nope, that number doesn't exist in the world.
In our hearts.
But even still, for Lilo and Stitch, it opened to 183 for the 4-day weekend, which, by the way, Ken, congrats. You had the closest guess.
I know everybody was like, you are blowing this out of proportion. And this is crazy.
You really believed in, what are millennial Gen Zers called? Gillennials or something like that? I don't know.
Put that in a
Zillennials.
blender.
Zillennials. That's what it is.
Zillennials. Oh, my God.
We matter too, Ken. But you really understood that demographic clearly.
I'm full on deep state millennial here. Like, I can see through the matrix when it comes to my own kind. No, but it was, with all the some complaints about the film in trades and things like that, people that didn't like the way they went with the movie, things they did. It was, to be expected, but it's big. It's big. Disney is on the path of destruction now.
Again.
Like, they are. I mean, I don't know what the future holds for Elio being an unknown property. I don't know what Fantastic Four holds, being that the first 3 or technically 4 because there was an old Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been a struggle. They've always been big productions, huge budgets, and haven't lived up to the
Have
hype.
Pedro now, though.
Which speaks to me as a millennial.
Who?
Oh no. Our generation knows Pedro. We vote for Pedro. So,
if only.
But it's just funny because we haven't had anything real. I mean, it was Top Gun was the last one we've had. What does it show, Kyle? I mean,
it was 160 million when it opened in Memorial Day.
And that was 22, and I mean, Little Mermaid I felt was like a June release, but it could have been. I must be wrong.
No, that was in May. That was Memorial Day.
Yeah, you've got all the But I mean, not anything that like lit the world on fire, but we have 2 in the top 15-ish.
To what?
2 films, or top 17. 2 films the same weekend, top 17.
Right.
That's how you make a weekend in the movies.
Yeah.
That's how you create Barbenheimer without the cool catchphrase.
Right.
Like you just have to have those opened bigger than Barbie and Oppenheimer together.
Which is crazy to think of. Yeah, that is what
but
happened.
by a lot. So it's not. Yes, the catchphrase was cool and it like got people talking about it. But this is what we need. We need film companies working with separate audiences in the theater at the same time. You have to have these. But when you have these, then you have dry periods, and that's why we have January and February and Septembers of the world.
Everyone's just building up all their excitement for a Lilo and Stitch remake, apparently.
I know. And then I saw
the last Mission Impossible movie, maybe.
And then I saw a note this morning in one of the blogs that it was like Sinners 2 in talks, and I'm like, obviously someone who wrote this article never saw Sinners 1.
Right.
Because it's got to be a completely retooled, completely different story.
Yeah. unless they go into the 90s, keep it going.
Let's go.
Or they go to Ireland where he was created. Like they can do different things to create these, but it's so silly. Like that movie had an end. Everyone would.
Yeah.
3 people died.
Yeah.
Like,
We got the story.
Got the
We did.
beginning, middle, and end of the story.
Would I go see another one? Absolutely.
But it's very much like a studio thing. Like we had a success, let's make a second.
Yeah.
I'm sure there were talks with Christopher Nolan. It's like, can we do an Oppenheimer 2?
Right.
Absolutely, there were talks.
Let's watch 3 hours of him reflecting on what happened 3 hours of his reflection.
Just being broken.
Yeah.
A broken man.
A broken man for creating the most awful machine.
Yeah.
Who then now believes in socialism and communism and is branded by the government he worked for as a traitor. Let's watch that.
Yeah.
Woo.
Sign me up. So what comes next when it comes to this Lilo and Stitch Mission Impossible 8 hype? Is that still going to keep going, or are we going to be seeing massive drop-offs? Like, what are we predicting?
No, we're going to ride this wave. It helps that we saw Mission's going to be in IMAX for another week.
Okay.
So that's going to help out everything, which is decent. Karate Kid, we're looking at $30 to $35 million opener. So it's a solid number 3
That'll be good. Yeah.
this weekend. And it's not going to light the world on fire. But that being said, we'll need a third film if the audience drop off. If you have 4, 5, 6 screens, like you need something else.
Yeah.
So it'll be solid. And next week is our art and like second tier mainstream theaters. We have Phoenician Scheme from Focus, which is Wes Anderson, which will be a solid opener.
Right.
Yeah.
And then we have Ballerina, which is another one that's looking in that $30 to $35 million range.
Any room for Materialist from A24? Huh?
It's tough. It's really tough out there.
Yeah.
I mean, you did a review on a movie that I'm really excited about that's opening June 6th, and it's going to see probably half the theaters that it would see on a weekend 2 weeks after a big movie.
Yeah.
Right.
But because of these holding up, I mean, we should see solid 50% drops for these. It shouldn't be more than that. I wouldn't expect it to be more than that. They're big numbers, but God, it's still, there's every chance with these animated things that we see like a sub 50% drop, and Lilo and Stitch has a second week over 100 million, which would be insane.
Dang.
I mean, that's the math. That's going to happen.
It's in the ballpark.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in the 50% is $90 million. Like it's in the margin of error.
Unless if people just really came out not liking it, then
No,
it would get like a 90% drop.
this was like,
it won't be that crazy.
Throwing out the Angel Studios A cinema score for Last Rodeo, because literally every Angel Studios has received an A from Cinema Score,
Right. Yeah.
which is a little fuzzy.
Yeah.
We've had two A pluses this year. I forget what the other one was, but King of Kings received an A plus cinema score, and I found that extremely hard to believe with any animated film, especially a religious-based animated film. But it's the audience that is voting on these, is voting for what they want.
Right. Yeah.
So it's just very
And it delivered, clearly.
Yeah.
So I think, 50% drop. We should see another.
The roadside movie, Bob Trevino likes it.
Bob Trevino got an A+.
It's nice. Like, it's a good movie.
It was fine.
A+. Holy cow.
I watched the screener.
Keen of
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah. No, there was nothing else
an
that I
elite
saw this year.
club.
Yeah. When I was looking at it, it was really.
These are the
so
nicest
strange.
demographics, clearly, for
They gotta be.
yeah, for just like feel good movies.
Yeah.
Like,
Angel Studios and their Cinema Guild, like they get out there. Their Angel Guild, they get out there
Yeah.
and they focus on these polls so they can put out good information. Last Rodeo, from our theaters that played it, it's a good movie. It has it's got a decent pace, because that's the big thing we fall into with family stuff, is
Yeah.
really slow. It's like the bad thing happens and then they work really hard and then the good thing happens at the end. But you still got to fill in 90 minutes.
I'm chuckling to myself because I'm seeing Final Destination gain a B+. Like, I'm imagining that demographic just going, it was fine. like just such judgment.
What's the most recent, C or lower?
Let's see.
I'm
Oh,
curious.
easily Hurry Up Tomorrow with a C-.
Okay.
From
Oh,
Lionsgate.
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, that has to be it.
Yeah.
But no, it's actually pretty good in like the A's and B's so far
No,
this year.
the studios are hyper focused because they know if, like Warner Brothers did and struggled through the end of last year, like if you have Horizon and you have Lord of the Rings or of Rurum, even Beetlejuice doesn't.
God bless you.
even Beetlejuice with the big opening doesn't save jobs. Like you
Yeah.
have to, every one of these has to work. Like, and if it doesn't work, you have to at least be able to put on your resume like it was a good movie. Like it was.
I saw the
it was
quality.
a solid production. Like we really worked through this. It just didn't hit with the audience. Like you can't have stinker after stinker come through and expect to keep your job or find a job at a new film company, which we're seeing plenty of movement still. There's not these lifelong employees of one film company. And Alyssa and I saw that this week, where
Yep.
people change. It's like football fans when you see like cousins or sons get drafted to a team.
Right.
Archie Manning, lifelong Saints guy, will always be a Saints guy, and then Peyton Manning gets drafted to the Colts, and you see him in a Colts hat.
Yeah.
it's like yeah, allegiance changed.
Yeah. No matter
I'm now a Paramount man. Sony's my guy.
So I know that we were looking ahead to Karate Kid and Ballerina and many of the other crowded slate that we're heading towards, but do we want to talk a bit about How to Train Your Dragon? Tracking on it, we were a bit surprised by so far.
Yeah, kids' movies are hard with the actual tracking, but we're seeing, it opening in that $60 to $70 million range, which is
As of now.
as of now, and we're 2 weeks out. But it's a little on the disappointing side for as much energy as it had at CinemaCon, as much.
Yeah.
The Universal machine will start working now and start promoting this, and you'll start seeing it everywhere.
I feel like it's already begun.
Yeah.
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 So I don't know why they're estimating it so low, unless if it's a tactic just to be like, whoa, we're so surprised.
It's entirely possible, but I think
Yeah.
part of it could be because Lilo was so big. Like 183 million is a hill you're not going to climb.
Yeah, it's a scary number. For
Oh,
them.
I don't even, yeah.
But I think hopefully they were like, maybe it opens to like 70 million and we can beat it.
Right.
But then you've got to lower expectations a
Yeah.
little bit. But it's still going to be solid. There's nothing about it. They're not going to change the story like Lilo and Stitch. I think it's going to be
that's something to be said about that.
Yeah, that's
you
why
know
I'm,
exactly what you're going to see.
Yeah.
that's why I'm wondering about Lilo and Stitch's drop off, is because we've had heard complaints from
That's
like
what I'm curious about, too.
demographics about some of the changes. I just always think when you're trying to recreate like these iconic family movies, it's so hard to pick and choose like what to keep and what to toss
Yeah.
out. So
I was talking to Austin about Lilo and Stitch. I was like, oh my God, did you hear what happened? And he was like, I'm not seeing that movie.
he's like, it's fine.
He
I
was
don't care.
like, I'm done. No, I'm fine with the original. I can't believe they did that. So I don't know if other people feel that way. I don't know. I think it's a big factor.
I'm in the deep state, and Alyssa married a hardliner. Absolutely not.
But
I don't know. I
Not
think,
with my dollars.
I will say this for How to Train Your Dragon, it doesn't do big swings in terms of changing the story. But I think audiences can like that it's paying tribute to like the original, and I think they could be seeing that through the marketing. I just wonder if Lilo and Stitch making so much money that maybe it does exhaust like people coming back to the theater slightly, even though we're going to be 2 weeks out from this thing. But I still am imagining that this crosses 100 million for an opening. I'd be shocked if it was lower.
Yeah, I that's where I saw this number. It's got to go up almost 100% from where it's at, which is a long way to go.
Yeah. Let's add a 1 before.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. So I'm hopeful for it. I mean, we really need it to be great. It's the only kids thing in that first mid section of June. We do have Elio, but with policies and things like that in small theaters, it's not always doable. Yeah. So you really have to pick and choose. But I think this one fits that Zillennial audience.
Better word than whatever I said originally.
I give it with a G or a J. It was like Gillennials.
Well, I knew there had to be a change.
A for effort.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where the G came from.
It was bold. It was bold.
We're just so bold on this show. That's just how we roll.
That's it.
I was a bold guy. I've always said
that's
that
Kyle.
about Kyle. Oh, well, I really want to hear your review of IFC's Dangerous Animals because it's a June Shark movie. I love June Shark movies.
Hit us with it, Kyle.
It's kind of a shark movie.
No.
It's kind of a shark movie. It's more of a serial killer predator escape type of movie.
Did you say predator?
Not that kind of
ding,
predator.
Ding.
Although, but no, it's not that kind of movie. It is more of an escape from being kidnapped type of movie, more of a thriller. The sharks do come into play, but it's not as much as the trailer may suggest that it is. But
Bummer.
Jai Courtney as like this crazy guy that kidnaps young women and takes them on his boat, and then he feeds them to sharks, essentially. He's entertaining doing that.
It's such a good premise.
I like the premise. I just wish there was more sharks.
For like a Dexter like serial killer type movie. It's like so great.
And he's not like I wouldn't call him like a smart or cunning antagonist at all, but he's just goofy and ridiculous, and there's clearly something wrong with his brain on top of, the stuff that he's doing to begin with. But just him as a character, like he's clearly just trying to be so heightened and over the top with it. And it never feels off-putting or weird, even though everyone else is playing it straight.
Yeah.
So it does help with like the entertainment factor of it. Otherwise, I think I'd be lower on this movie. But thanks to him and like the creative idea for the story of it being out in the waters, I thought it was a nice touch. And I hope people can find a way to have this movie be playing. I know that's going to be really crowded this next weekend and moving forward, but just a good small movie to give a chance on. So I really liked it.
Solid one. And IFC is great to work with. So
yeah. If you don't want a headache,
we want to give them as much opportunity as we can when we have these. I mean, Clown in a Cornfield was, I'm sure, not a well-received movie by the critics, but it had a place. It opened to like...
Had a good opening.
People were decent about it, from the reviews I was reading.
It wasn't, the May opening after Thunderbolts.
Yeah. $4 million for IFC's opening.
Yeah. Which
pretty impressive.
Massive. I mean, they do a movie like every week of the year.
It feels like it, yeah.
They have probably 45 releases a year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, for them to have one that does $4 million, it's like, smoked it.
Yeah. We found it, guys.
I picture them like that Monday, like it's a regular office every other day of the year, and then that Monday it's like the Mad Men office.
Popping the champagne, the cigars come out.
They all have cocktails, and they're all smoking cigars in the office in New York City. It's like, that's not allowed. I'm like, did you see the numbers? 4 million dineros.
Come on, Jerry, get in here.
Light me up.
Line them up. Liquid lunch today, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, well, we said Predator, so let's talk about it. Alyssa's movie pick.
It was.
Iconic.
What a great pick.
It's a staple in my dad's side of the family's household. My uncle can quote the entire thing and has done so numerous times.
Yes.
It's one that I hadn't seen for a long time, so it was really fun to watch through it. I learned that Austin had somehow not seen it before.
Mm-hmm.
But it was I don't know, it's still fun. I think Predator is a really cool antagonist, a really cool villain. Classic 80s action. I don't know what else to say. It's just a fun watch.
Classic 80s action.
Well,
muscles everywhere.
It has
Ken, take it from here then.
governors in it. That is my favorite trivia about this movie. It's one of the very few movies with 2 governors in it.
Like where?
Yeah.
When? How?
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh my
was
God.
the governor of California.
okay. I see
duh.
what you
Jesse
mean.
Ventura was the governor of Minnesota. It is 2.
He was?
He was.
Wow.
He was. He was like a crazy wild. He was one of these governors in
I thought you
the
were
2000s. No, Jesse Ventura was a governor. It had 2 governors. in the
Literal
film.
governors.
Literal state governors.
I thought you meant in that time.
That's what I was like. Yeah.
And we're
Acting
not-
governors.
No, and we're not taking like Ronald Reagan into account and like picking and choosing because he was in this movie with this guy.
Yeah.
No.
Who was like who got shot or like fell off the horse and then also became the governor of New Hampshire somehow. No, these are 2 like well known, apparently not that well known, but well known governors in the United States.
How about that?
It's my favorite. But no, I could very much like your uncle. I could go through every line.
Yeah.
I have read books on this movie because of all the crazy trivia. I love the director. I love Arnold. Like this was where he really hit the like Commando was the film before this, and he had a few like little quips, and that's where they picked up like, okay, he could be funny. Like this is the thing.
Mm-hmm.
But Predator is where it really takes off, and he like gets these catchphrases.
Yeah.
Classic.
A
Stick
direct-
around.
A director knows how to.
That was the one where Cody popped. She's like, "Are you kidding me?" And I'm like, "No, this is the beginning of this.
Yeah.
This is where this started.
Yeah.
Like he started this with stupid lines like these throwaway lines.
Yeah.
People are like, and I can only imagine being in the theater in '87. It had to have erupted. Like they're like, "Did he just say that?" Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Everyone must have been like, "This is a moment, right?"
Yeah, this is a thing. We're doing this now, and then they did it for 20 years.
Yep.
I love that the focus is so much on him and Weathers and all of the other members of the troop rather than the Predator parts.
Yeah,
Like the build to, I mean, just the build to like seeing the Predator in armor alone is awesome. And
Yeah.
then the cherry on top is there's going to be another build to like seeing his face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Which
just
isn't
him,
until the end, which is so cool.
it's just such a great movie in terms of like,
Yeah.
don't reveal it all at once and
Yep.
let it build.
Which is a pleasant surprise. I don't know that you would go back and expect that from a movie like that. You know what I mean?
The last Predator movie I can confirm did not do that.
Okay, yeah, fair.
It was not
They-
smart.
They show the. I mean, well, you obviously know what it looks like, so it doesn't matter if you
Yep.
show the face, but
Right.
you see it in the first 35 seconds of film.
Dang.
Because like, oh no, we've already ripped the Band-Aid off. Let's just get it out of the way.
I was thinking about that with the new movie that's coming out. It looks awesome, but at the same time, in like the first shot of the trailer, you see the Predator without its mask, and you're like, oh yeah, I guess the mystique is kind of over. Like you have
Yeah.
to go bigger now at this point.
Yeah.
But no, this first
Literally
one,
bigger like they did in the 2018 one, the big
Yeah.
one that was as big as a house.
Okay, guys.
no, but
Is that the mail?
I wound up really liking like the military fighting for your life, coming up with strategies with like trees and stuff aspects of it. Remind me of Rambo in that sort of way.
Yeah.
Bill Duke, Jesse Ventura, and then you get into Carl Weathers and Arnold.
Yeah.
But it's
Holy.
I could dissect every single scene. We could be here until tomorrow talking about. He shoots the gun and he shoots his arm off. He chops it off with a laser. It's still shooting on the ground. It's so great.
So good.
It's so great.
And then it shoots. Austin died because it shoots Arnold.
Yeah.
And Austin's like, his muscles deflected the bullet.
Yeah.
It took off Carl's
He's
arm.
in the mud, and you see like Arnold's not like it was still the 80s, so they didn't have like subtext in major films. So he had to
Yeah,
go
not
like
quite.
he had to have
Yeah.
the mud and go like
Oh,
figure
yeah,
it
yeah.
out, like look at his hand.
Yep.
Oh, it's so great because. Nope, I'm not getting into the trivia. I'm not going to dive into this because it's the whole thing.
Just give us one piece of
Yeah,
trivia.
yeah.
One more piece of trivia.
Because John McTiernan, who's the director, who also did Die Hard, this got
Yeah.
him
Oh,
Die Hard.
okay.
and he did Hunt for Red October. Like he's done so many great movies.
So good.
That one's a good one too.
But he like had the scene and he was like, okay, we're just going to shoot it. There's not going to be this aha moment. Like the audience is going to figure it out. And they went through and did it. And he's like, I don't think Arnold figured it out. I don't think Arnold knew what was going on. It's like, okay, we're going to have to make this really obvious.
It can't see me.
Yeah, he had to like literally like mouth the I am invisible. Like he had to figure this out, but it was there's so many the Sonny Landham, who's their tracker, who cuts himself on the thing, was actually a crazy person.
Oh God!
So that did happen. That was
so I know the blood wasn't real, but he was actually a crazy person. Like John McTiernan, one of the biggest, buffest dudes in Hollywood that he could get that weren't Stallone.
Yeah.
So biggest, buffest dudes.
Because this was when Stallone and Schwarzenegger were having their battle, right? The start of it. Yeah,
this big thing. And so, yeah, Sonny Landham was legitimately crazy. Like, they shot this all in Mexico. Like, there was no sound stages, which was also great about this.
Terrific.
So it looks great. There's depth in it. But the very first night they shot, they rent out a resort in Mexico so that everybody's in one place. And the crew's there and everybody's there. They hear sirens going off. They start looking out their balconies. Sonny Landham is in his tidy whities. He's climbing down a palm tree. And there's spotlights from police cars down below.
Oh, God.
Because
he's ours.
He was on the property running around in his underwear because he was in military mode.
Right.
But legitimately a crazy person.
I guess I don't even know what to add on to that. Like, that's just...
No, and that's not even the craziest part because there are
that's just the energy of the movie,
elected
though.
governors.
Yeah.
2 elected governors were in this movie. People of like 2 of the largest states.
Right.
Like, I mean,
they made an impact.
Minnesota is not California or Texas, but it's not chopped liver here. We're talking about.
It's not Rhode Island. I don't know.
Yeah, but when they do the map for the presidential elections, like it's one of the big ones. It's one that has 2 digits.
You can't miss it.
They can govern and kick ass.
Yeah. And you can't repeat any of Jesse Ventura's lines, but they are so great.
No,
they're
just
so 80s and so great.
Delivery, man. It's just even for, I would say, like the majority of them aren't. You could see like they're not the strongest actors. They still just understood the assignment of like how to deliver.
John McTiernan puts him in a box.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's like, you have this much room.
Yeah.
Say this line. Okay. Say it with a little more gusto. Okay. We'll figure it out.
Right.
In post. Like,
we
need. This is what we're going to get
mud
out of you. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll add some mud to it.
Worst case
there
scenario.
like an Alabama tick.
Yeah.
Oh, God, that's right.
My God.
No.
I ain't got time to bleed. Oh my God. Get me off of this. Let's pick the new movie, which is mine.
Yeah. Tell us, Ken. Unless you want to draw it from the bucket.
No, I want you guys to pick it and see if you know what this movie is.
Okay, Kyle, go ahead.
All right.
I gave you some hints, but I don't know if you'll have any idea what this is.
I don't know.
I actually can't reach for the paper. Maybe that was the problem.
He's got short arms.
I don't have a wingspan. Ooh, Maximum Overdrive.
Oh.
I haven't seen that one,
No.
but it's gotta be a good time, right?
Yeah.
There's no way.
Okay, Stephen King directed.
Yeah.
All the machines on Earth come to life and start killing people.
Okay.
Emilio Estevez, the lady that does Lisa Simpson's voice.
Whoa.
Whatever.
Or Bart Simpson's voice. I can't remember which one it is.
Yeah, I don't
Probably
know.
Bart.
Oh, there's a random Jeep with a machine gun on it. There's a semi truck that has a clown face on the front of it.
It's gonna be so bad, but so good.
Oh, and this is very inappropriate 80s.
Oh, of course. I mean, I expect nothing less.
We're really cranking it up now.
Oh, we're putting it in maximum overdrive.
Honestly, this being the final movie is hilarious. You may have seen a picture of this already,
need
Alyssa.
to.
Have you?
Look at it.
Yeah, no, it was just silly for silly's sake.
It's the Green Goblin's face on a semi truck.
Also read a book about this movie because
You know the trivia.
This movie was written and directed by Stephen King. It was the only film he's ever directed. He had to go to rehab in the middle of the movie for certain white nose powders. So the movie was technically directed but not credited by George Romero. Who was a friend of his.
Oh, God.
Had to come in and save it for his buddy.
Yeah, but
In a nutshell, campy, horrific, and outrageous.
very campy is probably the best word. But
Not outrageous.
no, I mean it's not like zany, I guess. Like outrageous, I think of with like the Foley work with the woo woo.
Okay.
People fall downstairs and you hear like pots and pans.
Oh, okay.
That's what I think of zany.
That's zany. I would agree with that. Good descriptor. Three Stooges humor.
Pump for this one, and then we'll have some more movies with a new genre in the bucket next week.
We do have the genre picked, right? Do you want to announce it, Alyssa?
It looks like we're just going straight in and we're going to do 90s.
That's the jump.
That's great. Until we get to 2000s, and then Cody really gets into her wheelhouse.
I vote.
And she only gets one pick, so.
Yeah, but we're all going to pay for it.
We all lived through the 2000s. We can skip that one. It's fine.
We can?
I'd be willing to pick something different, but 90s was a great decade. Yeah. So that'll be great.
Yeah. No, we're going to have to pick a genre or something next time.
I think so.
To keep
we got to shield
Shayla
ourselves.
and Cody under control.
Right.
Yeah.
I really would love to do 70s movies and finally force Cody to watch The Godfather. That's not going to happen.
She wouldn't watch it.
No. That one's a high.
First scene with the slow move into the camera.
Yeah. It's like, is it over?
Game over. Why is this guy talking to himself sitting in the garden? It's like, oh my God, Cody.
I'm thinking
it's the whole thing.
I'm thinking of Godfather 2 because it's the opening credits, but it's also like that march that takes like 20 years to get through.
Yeah.
That's what came to my mind.
That's a very good point.
Yeah.
Godfather 2 next week.
There you go.
No, Maximum Overdrive. I think it's like 90 minutes. It's going to be fun.
Oh, yeah. This will be awesome to watch.
And we'll get some totals on Karate Kid and hopefully a little better idea of what Dragon's going to do.
Yeah.
Yes, I think we will.
Bump it up.
Have a great holdover weekend, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
See ya.